Good. The screen sharing is also fast today. Good to see that. Now, let's discuss the things that we have already accomplished. We are on the same paper. Number one, we have come to know what is the capital asset, exclusions and inclusions from the capital asset. Number two, we have come to know what is the transfer, right? Number three, we are aware about the fact that, sir, how to identify short-term capital gain and how to identify long-term capital gain. There are different holding periods given for the different assets, and based on that, you identify what is STCG, what is LTCG. Number four, based on that, we also know that what will be the rate of tax, right? So if it is a STCG, what will be the rate of tax? And rate of tax is again dependent on the type of asset. And that is also applicable to LTCG as well. So this is what we have done till now. Along with that, we have also come to know about the format, or I can call a structure of calculation of capital gains. And in that format, we had discussed a few things. One of those things was the indexation benefit. And that indexation benefit we get only when we transfer the long-term capital asset. In short-term capital gains, we do not get this benefit, and we have seen the structure of it. Last time around, after this, there were certain things to be discussed about the transfer. Now, we had already seen that what is transfer. That was done. But there were certain exclusions from the transfer. Exclusions. That means those were not regarded as the transfer. And we started discussing something on that lines, right? So we were there into the exclusion of the transfer. So I hope everyone is clear with the logical flow we have done till now. So rate of tax, STCG, LTCG, कितना होल्डिंग पीरियड है तो किसको एसटीसीजी लगेगा, कितना होल्डिंग पीरियड है तो किसको एलटीसीजी लगेगा, कितने रेट से लगेगा. Now let's go to those things we were discussing last time around that was related to the exclusion from the transfer. So let me give you a brief revision of all the things we had done last time around, and based on that, we would move ahead today as well. Okay. So we had discussed, I guess, 4 to 5 items from this exclusion list. I can say the things which are not considered as a transfer. We have seen 4 to 5 items from this. Number one was total or partial partition of HUF, Hindu undivided family. If nuclear family concept has been adopted now by the gigantic joint Hindu families, and if they would be forming a different HUFs, if there are 3 brothers and 1 sister, everyone would be forming a different HUF. So on that occasion, if some properties of the joint HUF are transferred to the restructured HUF, then it is not considered as a transfer because it is just something which is an internal division among the family members, right? Number two, a gift or a will or an irrevocable trust. So if it is a gift, will not be considered as a transfer. For the gift, we have a different provisions in the income from other sources. We are not saying that the gift is not taxable, but it is not considered as a transfer, hence the income tax will not be charged as per the capital gains tax, it would be charged as per income from other sources. Or it's a will. When I say will, that means when a person leaves a bit of a legacy, He decides that what percentage of what estates will go to whom. So if it is a transfer after the demise of that particular individual to the legal descendants, then it is not called as a transfer. If someone transfer the assets to the irrevocable trust, when I say irrevocable, that means the grantor cannot make changes to the deed. Now, up to what extent the changes can be made, up to what extent it cannot be made, that would be a bit of a technical issue. No need to go as of now. We must have the basic understanding that irrevocable is something where the grantor cannot make the changes as per his requirement in the deed, right? So that these are the three things we have done. Then transfer of capital asset by a holding company to its wholly owned Indian subsidiary. So it has to be the subsidiary, it has to be the Indian company. Number three condition is, see, it is a combination of various conditions. Number one, it must be wholly owned. That means entire 100% of the shareholding must be held by the holding company. Number two, it must be an Indian subsidiary company. So subsidiary company must be an Indian one, must be incorporated in India. Number three, okay, these are two only. So if the transfer of that capital asset is made by a holding company, so I have given you the example of that, to that subsidiary company, it will not be regarded as a transfer. We have seen the conditions as well of this. In the similar fashion, the exact reverse of it. If the transfer of the capital asset is done by a subsidiary company, we are right now into a fourth, to its 100% holding company, now that holding company must be again an Indian company. Any such capital asset transfer will also not be regarded as the transfer, because it is nothing but the internal division of the assets. If it is a 100% owned company, effectively the owner is not changed only, right? The same owners are there, but it is just transferring the asset from one company to another company in a group umbrella manner. It's not considered as a transfer. It would be unfair to tax the capital gains. It is unfair to calculate even the capital gains if the transfer is happening from one company to another company, which are owned by the same owners in a 100% manner. Okay, so I guess this four we had discussed. Now over into this amalgamation. Let's put our focus back. Let's try to understand what is happening. Transfer of capital asset by a amalgamating company to amalgamated Indian company again. Mark the words. Amalgamating company to the amalgamated company. So what is amalgamating? What is amalgamated? First of all, what is the amalgamation at all? Let's see that. Amalgamation is nothing but two companies comes together and forms another company. Like say for example, if A and B comes together and they have decided that, see, A, you also had a business, B would also be like, I too have a business, but it's a right time now to consolidate, because if we want to fight to our competitors, let's form C, which would be a different company, a different kind of a brand too. Now what happens? These two companies will be the amalgamating company. Why they are called amalgamating? Because obviously they are being amalgamated, right? And the C is considered as the finished product, which is amalgamated company. It's already amalgamated. Now, if something has been transferred because of this amalgamation process, it is just, the legal ownership structure has been changed from two companies to another company, nothing else. So let's try to understand what are the other conditions as well. Transfer of a capital asset by an amalgamating company to amalgamated company. So that means this two would be transferring the asset to C. And obviously that's what happens. ए एंड बी दोनों को बंद करके सी फ्रेम करनी है, तो ए एंड बी अपने पूरे असेट्स किसको दे देंगे? सी को दे देंगे. Let's move further. In scheme of amalgamation, so it is because of the scheme taken place of amalgamation that has to be the approval of the companies act. ऐसे ही कोई हर कोई को मजा आए तो चलो चलो अमलगमेट कर ले, तो वैसे नहीं होता बेटा. ऐसे मजा आने वाले लोग आज कुछ नहीं है यार कुछ करते चलो तो अमलगमेशन कर लेते, ऐसा नहीं होता. देयर हैज टू बी so many processes to be undertaken from the companies. There has to be the permission of the registrar of the companies and various other authorities. There has to be a scheme of amalgamation. So all this two, इसके जो ए और बी दोनों के जो शेयर होल्डर है, उस शेयर होल्डर को क्या मिलेगा? It is also a part of the scheme of the amalgamation. So if certain assets are transferred by this amalgamating company to the amalgamated company, then this assets will not be called as this transfer will not be called as a transfer. It is not a transfer as per Income Tax Act. So effectively, there would be no tax on it, right? Because I am not very much aware that where other these provisions are covered. As far as I know, it won't be a taxable only. Okay, so it is not considered as a transfer. Better to be more technically sound. Technically, if we speak, it is not considered as a transfer. Whether taxable or not can again be a different issue, which must be looked after considering some other provisions of the Act as well. Right? So if there would be some amendments to it, we might not be very much aware about it. So let's ignore that language of taxable or not taxable. Let's come to a very technical language, that is, it is not considered as a transfer. So that's the amalgamation one. Let's move ahead further. So you have got the meaning of amalgamation. First of all, you have got the meaning that what is being transferred to whom. Now it is about the capital asset. See, please, words needs to be understood properly. It is the capital asset. So no specific, inclusions and exclusions are given. It's not been said that only the shares are transferred. It's not been said that only that capital asset or that this capital asset is transferred. It's the broad word, capital asset. So any asset which qualifies to be a capital asset gets transferred from either A or B or from both to C, which is the amalgamated one, the finished company, finished product. Then it is not considered as a transfer. As simple as that. Will not consider the taxation of it under the capital gains. If there would be some other provisions, we'll follow those. But for the capital gains, it will not be considered as a transfer. I hope that's clear to everyone now. Let's move ahead further. After discussing these three, I will take a review from your side that whether in any of these explanation, if you couldn't find anything, or if you want the further explanation, I'll take the review after 5 minutes. Let's go to the sixth one. Transfer of capital asset by the demerged company to a resulting Indian company. I told you to mark the words. The amalgamated company should also be the Indian company in the fifth one if you can. So that means the C, which is being framed, must be which company? Sir, that must be Indian company. If A and B are forming the company C, and that C is registered in Switzerland. Some people would be like, sir, Switzerland का नाम कितनी बार लेते हो? तो मैं मेरी फेवरेट प्लेस का ही नाम लूँ ना, मेरी मर्जी, मेरे को जो नाम लेना है. So if they are forming a company registered in the Switzerland, not an Indian company, then it will be called as a transfer, and then the capital gains needs to be paid by whom? The people who are transferring the asset. Now, why the assets are transferred? Obviously, because this A and B will cease to exist. Now there will not be having any separate existence. Then what C will give to the A and B? Obviously, A and B would have the shareholders, right? So C would either give the cash or C would give the shares. To whom? To shareholders. Now, the shareholders who are getting something because of this amalgamation, that is not been covered right now. That will be covered in some other provisions. We are right now speaking from the perspective that if A and B are transferring some asset to C, then A and B will not be paying any capital gains on it because it is not considered as a transfer. If C is paying something to the shareholders, that will be discussed later on. Is it clear? C might give the cash to the shareholders of A and B, because see, there is no meaning of giving some money to A and B, right? Because A and B will cease to exist. A and B will not have any kind of an existence only. So obviously the people to whom the money needs to be paid by C is the shareholders of A and B. So they can pay it either in cash or in shares. That is not been discussed yet. That will be covered later on in some other provisions where we'll see that. Okay. My point of discussion was that this amalgamated company must be Indian company. Let's move further. Transfer of capital asset by a demerged company to the resulting Indian company in the scheme of demerger. Okay, sir, let's understand that in a better manner. Okay, so say for example, if Mr. Arjun runs a company, now that is a Arjun Limited, which deals in various kind of the products and services. So the first service they deal is the brokerage. Then the second kind of a services they are dealing, say, is something which is related to the production and manufacturing. Say they are in solar business. Some people would be like, sir, इतना varied businesses. तो कोई बात नहीं, मेरा एग्जाम्पल है ना, कुछ भी करेगा वो. Third, say for example, he is somewhere in a finance sector too. Okay, so now if Arjun feels that see, these three businesses are of the varied nature, and it's a right time now to frame a different company for at least the finance sector. Solar and brokerage might still be something can be handled by a one company, but at least for a finance which is contributing much to our revenue. Now, I'm not saying, I'm just giving the example. It's not like you can demerge only those companies which are contributing the much to your revenue. You can demerge any company. I'm just giving the example. So if the finance division is separated by Arjun Limited, and that means they would forming a different company for this. So that would be Arjun Finance Limited. So that what effectively has happened is, see, Arjun Limited is the demerged company, and Arjun Finance Limited is the resulting company. Obviously, because there has to be some input and then it comes the output, right? So it's the resulting company. And Arjun Limited in totality, all three businesses were forming a part of Arjun Limited only. So earlier it was the Arjun Limited. Now there is a separate division too. So it is called as the demerged company. अब फाइनेंस के अंदर अर्जुन ने किसी को हायर कर लिया, तो फाइनेंस वाले करेंगे क्या? बैठ के खाएंगे? ऐसे मुजरा करेंगे? वो क्या करेंगे? उसको कुछ असेट्स तो देने पड़ेंगे ना काम करने के लिए, तो आपको डिवाइड करना पड़ेगा. इट इज जस्ट लाइक द फैमिली डिवीजन, इट्स द कंपनीज डिवीजन. अब जो अर्जुन लिमिटेड इनको असेट्स कुछ देगा, कोई बात नहीं, अर्जुन फाइनेंस लिमिटेड ये जा मजे कर, इसके ऊपर कुछ बिजनेस कर. तो ये जो असेट्स ट्रांसफर हो रहे इफेक्टिवली, it is just a legal structure being changed, because they were feeling that we will not be able to manage all three business under a one roof. There has to be a different separate roof for Arjun Finance Limited too. Now this is also not considered as a transfer, but along with that we need to see that what are the other conditions. So it has to be the transfer of capital assets. So all the capital assets are included, right? So no specific inclusion or exclusion of capital asset is been given by the demerged company to the resulting Indian company. Aha, sir, resulting Indian company. So that means Arjun Finance Limited must be an Indian company, must be registered in India. फिर अर्जुन को मन हुआ कि नहीं नहीं, अर्जुन फाइनेंस लिमिटेड तो है ना अपन पाकिस्तान में बनाते हैं, तो नहीं चलेगा भैया, इट मस्ट बी एन इंडियन कंपनी. And if it is an Indian company, then it will not be considered as a transfer. Otherwise, it would be considered as the transfer. And there has to be the scheme of demerger as well. It cannot happen just because आपको लगा कि चलो डीमर्ज कर देते हैं, सुबह से उठ के सर कुछ नहीं किया चलो डीमर्ज कर देते, वैसे नहीं होता. देयर हैज टू बी सो मेनी परमिशंस, there must be a proper scheme, there must be a proper division of the assets, there must be the proper division of businesses, must be communicated to the registrar of the companies. Okay, let's move further. I hope you have got it. Transfer or issue of shares. See, now I told you that you should specifically look at the words. Earlier in that case, it was the capital asset. That means all kinds of assets were included. Now in this case, transfer or issue of shares by a resulting company in a scheme of demerger. Now see, the assets of Arjun Limited are transferred. Now this transfer was of the capital asset. So all kinds of capital assets were included, you know. Now Arjun Limited transferred something to Arjun Finance Limited. Now Arjun Limited के जो assets कम हो गए, तो अर्जुन लिमिटेड के जो शेयर्स होंगे या तो फिर अर्जुन लिमिटेड जो खुद होगा, उसने क्या सेवा करने के लिए यह किया था? वो फिलैंथ्रोपी तो नहीं है. वो मांगेगी कि भाई तो अर्जुन फाइनेंस में हमारा क्या, तो अर्जुन फाइनेंस बोलेगा कि कोई बात नहीं, हम तुम्हें क्या देंगे, शेयर्स देंगे. तुम मुझे असेट्स दो, हम तुम्हें शेयर देंगे. तो तुम मुझे असेट दो, हम तुम्हें शेयर्स देंगे. तो ये जो शेयर्स ट्रांसफर हो रहे हैं, किसको ट्रांसफर हो रहे हैं? अर्जुन को ट्रांसफर हो रहे हैं, अर्जुन लिमिटेड को ट्रांसफर हो रहे हैं. तो ये शेयर्स है वो भी ट्रांसफर नहीं कहलाएंगे, नॉट अ ट्रांसफर. बिकॉज उन्होंने असेट्स लिए, इसलिए तो शेयर्स देने पड़ेंगे ना भैया. शेयर्स देना मतलब कि क्या देना, क्या हुआ, कुछ ऑनरशिप देना. ये सेवा करने के लिए तो नहीं बैठी है अर्जुन लिमिटेड कि मेरा एक डिवीजन भी चला जाए और सामने कुछ मिले भी नहीं. अचानक से वो कोई ऐसे महान महाशय को सुन रहे थे और अर्जुन लिमिटेड को हुआ कि सब कुछ मिथ्या है, जगत मिथ्या, जगत में जन्म लेना ही सब कुछ मेरा तो जो है वो सब कुछ फाइनेंस, मैंने फाइनेंस को ऐसे ही दे दिया, ऐसे दे दिया, तो बोलेगा कोई बात नहीं, जगत मिथ्या है ना, तो फिर वो ट्रांसफर कहलाएगा. सी यू आर डूइंग इट फॉर सम रीजन, राइट? नाउ फॉर व्हाट रीजन यू आर डूइंग इट? बिकॉज यू विल गेट द शेयर्स. Effectively, Arjun Limited will have the control of this Finance Limited because they would be having the shares of them. And that share will not be considered as a transfer because on that it's unfair as well. No, you can check it. It is just a legal framework we are changing. The businesses are not getting changed. It is the effective control of one company to another company, and both the companies are belonging to the same people only. घर के अंदर ही घर वालों ने कुछ ऊपर नीचे कर दिया है, तो उसको ट्रांसफर नहीं कहते. Okay, but point of this is that transfer or issue of shares. So only one capital asset. अब ये जो अर्जुन फाइनेंस लिमिटेड है वो कुछ और ट्रांसफर करेगा कि तूने मुझे असेट दिए तो मैं भी तुम्हें असेट दूंगा, तो कवर नहीं होगा. तूने मुझे असेट दिए तो मुझे तुम्हें शेयर्स ही देने हैं, तो शेयर्स दिए हैं तो वो ट्रांसफर नहीं कहलाएंगे. कुछ और ट्रांसफर करोगे तो वो ट्रांसफर कहलाएगा, क्योंकि दैट इज बीन स्पेसिफिकली गिवन. ट्रांसफर और इश्यू ऑफ शेयर्स, शेयर्स ही भैया, और कुछ नहीं. चलो यहां तक कोई भी क्वेश्चन है भैया? This will not be considered as the transfer. So last three we have discussed. Any question related to that, please? Or just have a chotu sa confirmation that you have got everything till now. Okay, as usual, we have got the first confirmation from Miss Mohini, Miss Divya, Mr. Vishal as well. Good to see that. Mr. Arjun, Mr. Jeel, and Mansukh and Krishna as well. Good to see that. Now, Krishna, I am unable to put the requisite article against your name. I guess it would be Miss or Miss, Mr. Krishna. Yes, yes, he's a. अब होता है, मेरा भी एक था. माई नेम वाज आल्सो बीन शेयर्ड बाय बोथ द जेंडर्स, यू नो. मेरे ही क्लास में एक रौनक करके लड़की थी, तो क्या होगा, चलता है. कुछ नाम ऐसे होते हैं जो दोनों जेंडर में पाए जाते हैं. लकी वंस. Okay, let's move ahead further. Seventh is done. Let's move to the eighth one. Transfer of share by a shareholder in the scheme of amalgamation. सर ये शेयर होल्डर कैसे ट्रांसफर करेगा शेयर अपने? चलो देखते हैं. Any transfer by a shareholder in a scheme of amalgamation of shares held by him in amalgamating company. Understand this. The transfer is made in consideration of the allotment to him of any share in amalgamated company. The amalgamated company is an Indian company. अच्छा, अब कोई भी चीज के देखने के बहुत पर्सपेक्टिव होते हैं. अब अमलगमेशन मतलब कि दो एक साथ आ रहे हैं, ए और बी. ए और बी दोनों एक साथ आ रहे हैं कि बोल रहे कि भाई अपन है ना, दोनों क्यों झगड़ा कर रहे हैं, हम दोनों कॉम्पिटिटर नहीं है, हम दोनों तो भाई भाई हैं. तो चलो हम क्या बनाते हैं, सी बनाते हैं. तो ए और बी दोनों ने सी बना दिया. ए सीज टू एग्जिस्ट, दैट मीन्स ये बंद होगा. अब बी सीज टू एग्जिस्ट, ये भी क्या होगा, बंद होगा. नया वाला कौन सा आ जाएगा, सी आ जाएगा. अब जो ए और बी, इसके जो शेयर होल्डर है, शेयर होल्डर्स, तो ये शेयर होल्डर्स को क्या मिलेगा, बाबा जी का ठुल्लू. और बाबा जी का ठुल्लू ही मिलना था, तो वो क्यों अलाउ करेगा कोई भी अमलगमेशन वगैरह. See, these are the decisions taken only after there are certain resolutions passed by the shareholders. No one can take such kind of a decision without even passing the resolution to the shareholders. तो स्पेशल रिजोल्यूशन हो सकता है, ऑर्डिनरी हो सकता है, जो भी हो. अब ये जो रिजोल्यूशन पास हुए, मतलब कि शेयर होल्डर की परमिशन आ गई, तो शेयर होल्डर को क्या मिलेगा भैया. तो ए और बी वो बोले कि आपको चिंता करने की आवश्यकता नहीं है, आप हमें किसके शेयर्स दे दो, ए और बी के दे दो, वो हम कैंसिल कर देंगे. आपको किसके शेयर मिल जाएंगे, सी के शेयर मिल जाएंगे. तो शेयर होल्डर्स ए एंड बी के शेयर्स को वापस दे देता है और उसके पास सी के शेयर्स मिल जाते हैं. तो भैया अगर वो सी के शेयर्स उसके पास आ जाते हैं, तो ये जो शेयर्स उसने ए और बी है, वो ए एंड बी को दे दिए अपने, क्योंकि वो बंद होने वाला है. तो इसको हम ट्रांसफर नहीं कहेंगे, नॉट अ ट्रांसफर. कुछ ले रहे हैं, कुछ दे रहा है बेटा, उसके सामने कुछ मिल रहा है. और लेना देना, मिलना ना मिलना, ये सब उसमें कोई फाइनेंशियल इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. इट इज जस्ट अ स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ ए कंपनी विच इज बीइंग चेंज्ड. तो बेचारे का स्ट्रक्चर चेंज हुआ, उसने तो कुछ नहीं किया, ना तो कुछ प्रॉफिट अर्न किया है, ना तो कुछ और कुछ चीज अर्न की है. सिर्फ ए बी के शेयर्स ले लेंगे, वापस दे देगा, और सी का शेयर्स ले लेगा बेचारा. उसमें तुम आके बोलो कि ए भाई ट्रांसफर है, ला ला ला, तू है ना टैक्स दे, भाग जाएगा उधर से. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट कंसिडर्ड एज अ ट्रांसफर. लेकिन दूसरी बात ये कही कि except where the shareholder itself is the amalgamated company. अमालगमेटेड कंपनी ही शेयर होल्डर है, तो फिर कोई मतलब ही नहीं हुआ ना, क्योंकि उनको तो कुछ इससे मतलब, सही अमालगमेटेड कंपनी है, वो खुद शेयर होल्डर है. So that is not being considered in this particular framework we are seeing, you know. So let's keep it very simple. Try to understand in this manner. A और B साथ में थे, सी बना दिया. ए एन बी ने ए एन बी के जो शेयर होल्डर है उसको ए एन बी को शेयर्स अपने वापस दे दिए और सी के शेयर्स मिल गए। तो ये किसको ट्रांसफर, किसको कैपिटल गेन इसके ऊपर पे नहीं करना है सर? ये जो शेयर होल्डर है ना, उसके लिए वो ट्रांसफर नहीं है। एज सिंपल एज दैट। बाकी कोई चीज में अभी हमें जाने की जरूरत नहीं है। नाउ these were the only things which were requiring a bit of an intellect from our side. Now all the things which are there, no, will just be testing your memory. So you'll have to just memorize those things, nothing else. Transfer of a rupee denominated bond outside the India by a non-resident to other non-resident. एक तो आउटसाइड द इंडिया हुआ है, इंडिया के अंदर नहीं हुआ है। पहली बात, कौन सा वाला बॉन्ड था? रूपी डिनोमिनेटेड बॉन्ड। रूपी डिनोमिनेटेड बॉन्ड का मतलब क्या हुआ? मतलब कि जो बॉन्ड रुपये में है, पैसे में, अपने जो इंडियन रुपीज में है। अब वो वाले बॉन्ड कौन ट्रांसफर कर रहा है? नॉन रेसिडेंट ट्रांसफर कर रहा है। नॉन रेसिडेंट मतलब कि उसका नंबर ऑफ डेज इंडिया के अंदर स्टे है ही नहीं। नॉन रेसिडेंट यू हैव ऑलरेडी सीन, राइट? सर ये किसको ट्रांसफर करता है? वो नॉन रेसिडेंट को ही ट्रांसफर कर रहा है। एक नॉन रेसिडेंट दूसरे नॉन रेसिडेंट को ये वाले बॉन्ड ट्रांसफर कर रहा है, लेकिन वो बॉन्ड है उसका डिनोमिनेशन कहां पे होना चाहिए? रूपी में होना चाहिए। रूपी का डिनोमिनेशन मतलब के इंडियन बॉन्ड्स। All these bonds, if non-resident is transferring, okay, Arjun, where did you confuse? Can you just elaborate me further?
यस सर।
हाँ बेटा, कहाँ पे कंफ्यूज हो रहे?
अरे सर आज थोड़ा ओवर हो रहा है इसलिए।
इधर ओवर हो रहा है मतलब ये चीजें समझने में?
हाँ सर, ये थोड़ा समझ में नहीं आ रहा है बॉन्ड्स का।
बॉन्ड्स तो अभी शुरू किया बेटा, बॉन्ड्स कहाँ पे? बॉन्ड तो अभी शुरू किया आपने।
मतलब सर शुरू किया ना तब से मतलब नहीं समझ में आ रहा है।
अच्छा ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं। उससे पहले वाली दो तीन चीजें जो की है वो समझ में आ गई?
हाँ सर वो आपने।
पक्का?
यस सर।
जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ सेइंग, और सही में समझ में आया?
सर सही में है।
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं। नो वरीज, लेट्स कितनी चीजें हैं देख लेते हैं। बहुत ज्यादा बाकी है। 5-6 चीजें और बाकी। रिवर्स मॉर्गेज, दैट इज ऑल्सो समथिंग विल टेक सम टाइम। एनीवे, नो वरीज। नेक्स्ट सेशन में और एक ट्रांसफर चलेगा, कोई बात नहीं, करेंगे और क्या। आई एम नॉट समवन हु।
आपको प्रॉब्लम ना हो तो ही है। मतलब ऐसा नहीं है। आपको प्रॉब्लम ना हो तो आप रिज्यूम कर सकते हैं।
ना ठीक है, ये जो कॉन्सेप्ट अपन ने शुरू किया है ना वो कंप्लीट कर लेते, उसके बाद में साइन ऑफ कर देते आज के लिए।
ओके।
Okay. So if one person who is a non-resident of India, you people are aware about the definition of non-resident, is transferring some bond to again a non-resident, and this everything is happening outside the India, then this transfer of a rupee denominated bond by one resident to another resident will not be called as the transfer. मतलब उनको इसके ऊपर कोई टैक्स पे नहीं करना पड़ेगा। Is it clear? As simple as that to understand. Okay, so as the request has been received that आज थोड़ा सर बाकी सब lectures में भी possible है कि थोड़ा over हो चुका होगा. So I'm not going into the new concept now, but just giving you the brief idea of what we have done. Let's have the rapid fire revision of things so that you get to know what we have done. It's very easy to understand. I was giving the example just to make you, just to give you the clarity about entire thing that is happening, you know. तो say for example A और B है, वो दोनों फ्रेम करके C बनाते हैं, ठीक है। अगर सी बनाते हैं तो ये ए और बी सी बनाने के लिए कुछ तो असेट ट्रांसफर करते हैं, तो ये जो असेट ट्रांसफर हुआ वो ट्रांसफर नहीं कहलाएगा। सिंपल सी बात हुई। वैसे ही कोई एक कंपनी के 3 डिवीजन थे, तो तीनों डिवीजन में से एक डिवीजन को अलग करके उसका एक अलग से कंपनी बना देता है। तो ये जो है ए लिमिटेड, वो कुछ असेट्स ट्रांसफर करेगा डी को, ओनरशिप बदल जाएगी ना, ए लिमिटेड में से डी लिमिटेड की ओनरशिप आ जाएगी, तो वो ट्रांसफर नहीं कहलाएगा, सिंपल। इन द सिमिलर मैनर जो शेयर होल्डर है, जो ए एंड बी के शेयर होल्डर थे पहले, उनको क्या हुआ कि उनको ए एंड बी के शेयर है वो वापस दे देने हैं, और उसके सामने उनको क्या मिलेगा, सी के शेयर्स मिल जाएंगे। तो ए एंड बी के जो शेयर्स उसने वापस लौटाए, तो उसके ऊपर भी नहीं लगना चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट अ ट्रांसफर, एज सिंपल एज दैट। एंड फोर्थ वन वी हैव सीन इज द रूपी डिनोमिनेटेड बॉन्ड। जो बॉन्ड रूपी के अंदर ट्रेड हो रहा है, वो रूपी डिनोमिनेटेड बॉन्ड कौन ट्रांसफर कर रहा है, नॉन रेसिडेंट कर रहा है। किसको कर रहा है, दूसरे कोई नॉन रेसिडेंट को कर रहा है। कहां पे कर रहा है सर, आउटसाइड द इंडिया कर रहा है, तो देन again it is not considered as a transfer. Four things, as simple as that. Okay, others may just give me a confirmation and your enrollment number. After that, that's it from my side. Please put your enrollment number as a part of your attendance. If you have still any queries or question left in your mind, please let me know, else we'll be winding off this. Okay, bye bye, take care, sayonara, enjoy the rest of the day. See you all in the next session.